Hello everyone, mid-season 7 is out and it's time to give you the support tier list for 99% of the player base, which is Bronze 5 to low Grandmaster. And we start off with Zenyatta, and my boy went through some serious changes, but overall it's a net nerf. Before, you would want to play him with a poke composition that consists of Sigma, Hanzo, Widowmaker and Baptiste on 3 sniper maps, Circuit Royale, Havana and Junkertown. But after the Illari release, everyone forgot about Zenyatta because you never truly know how strong the character is until you play an infinitely stronger one. Better left clicks, insane heals, very strong ultimate and a smaller model made Illari one and only choice, making Zenyatta an alternate airfield, a guy that's sitting in a friend zone patiently waiting for the love of his life while she's in the process of finding herself with guys she told you not to worry about. Perhaps we will see Zenyatta more in later patches if he's gonna get buffed directly or indirectly, or meta will shift in his favor. Unfortunately, he's just bad versus rush compositions, such as Reinhardt, Mei, Sojourn, Lucio, Bap, when they're pressing W onto you and you are just too slow to escape. He's terrible against dive compositions with Winston, Tracer, Sombra, Ana and Brig, because they are jumping you and there is nothing you can do to save yourself. You are not the counter, you are not the fodder, you are not the counter to Doomfist, you are not the counter to Wrecking Ball or Roadhog anymore, because 1.5 second of LOS behind the natural cover and you cannot do anything for the next 7 seconds. D tier, hands down, the worst character in the current patch. On the other hand, Illari got nerfed hard for the second time in a row, but I don't quite think it was enough to bring her down. If you have a flex support like Baptiste, Kiriko, Ana or Lifeweaver that can reliably help your tank survive, it is a shame if you are not playing Illari with that. There is not a single main support that can do what she does in the current state of the game. Your damage is still insane, even though it's slightly nerfed and not as consistent as it was before. The pylon healing is still amazing, and you can go for the flanking playstyle to distract and destroy squishes, making their life uncomfortable and miserable. So they would have to respect you, because you always have the chance to punish them for their over-aggression with your own far superior aggression. Your ultimate is still amazing, and you have good duels against pretty much every single character in the game, but there is a catch. There are 2 catches, to be fair. If you're playing against dive, there is nothing you can do. Your enemy tracer is gonna have her recall faster, then your pylon is gonna get off cooldown, so she can actually go in, shoot the pylon, destroy it, shoot you a little bit, recall, and you are completely helpless. If Winston is jumping you, you turn from a very nice poke character into a character that's really bad at poking, because the Winston shield will prevent you that, and dive meta is back because Bastion is getting nerfed more and more and more. We will see how it will turn out to be, but I already see a lot more Winston in the game already. And the second thing is that if you have another flex support, such as like Lucio, Brig, Mercy, already locked, you can't play Illari because you just don't have enough heal, and the downtime on your pylon is gonna be just too much, and instead of trying to flank and destroy squishes, you would have to heal bot, which is completely unreliable and inefficient. Still, A tier, there is not a single better main support right now. Baptiste is still incredibly powerful. He got a slap on the wrist with his lamp nerf, but honestly, you will never notice it because the cooldown was already super long, so you would never be able to use it in a fight twice, so it doesn't matter. And when it comes to your HP on the lamp, it also doesn't matter, because the most efficient use of the lamp is when you throw it on impact, because you can save your teammates from tracer pulse, you can save them from like insane amounts of burst damage, prevent the one-shot headshot. Like, there are so many things that you counter with the lamp, and immortality as a concept is cancer in the current state of Overwatch 2. I have no idea why they haven't completely got rid of it for some reason. I don't know. Perhaps supports are buying a lot more skins, so they have to be rewarded with godlike powers. So enemies would have to trade their expensive cooldowns and ultimates for your lamp just to watch the guy go from 0 HP to 100 in a blink of an eye. Heal burst is still incredibly powerful, and immortality makes it worse. Baptiste, on the other hand, is the hardest support in the game, and he's top 5 character when it comes to difficulty overall, standing behind Tracer, Echo, Wrecking Ball, and Genji. You have to constantly switch between dealing hit scan damage and then switching to a difficult projectile heal, and nobody can do that pretty much, and this is why you never see Baptiste played anywhere below Grandmaster level, because of his very high skills floor skill ceiling, which pretty much never allow noobs to even try him out. Still an absolute S tier character, nothing has changed about him. Kiriko is very interesting. She got +1 second on her cleanse, but that is absolutely nothing. You can still hit the flank, hit a few headshots on squishy targets, and when you are in danger, you just cleanse yourself and TP out to safety. All of that paired with the hardest model to hit in the game, an ability to climb walls. Extremely annoying and frustrating to play against, and her cleanse can deny so many ultimates and prevent deserved deaths. And it's absolutely not funny anymore. You can't use Zarya Grav, you can't use Shatter, you can't use Queen ult, you can't use so many ultimates because Kiriko makes it look funny. She's also very versatile, and you can play her pretty much on every single map with and against every single composition, and you will be absolutely fine. A tier for Kiriko, but she is a little bit below Illari. When it comes to Lifeweaver, it looks like they hit him the hardest in the current patch, but these nerfs are absolutely cosmetic. I'm gonna explain why, but before, I have no idea why people are complaining that nothing dies against Lifeweaver, because if you don't give Lifeweaver an offensive option, he has to be good at something else, and he was damn good at healing and saving. If you would remember his story, Lifeweaver was a 40% win rate from the start of the season, and he gradually moved up and up and up. And what are they doing now? They revert these changes and make him terrible again without giving him the alternative, without giving him an offensive option. A great concept of the character and terrible ideas on how to balance him out. The nerfs are cosmetic because you never run out of ammo on Lifeweaver anyway, because 16 is still enough, and if you would shoot your left clicks, you recharge your heal on like auto mode. Is that how you say that? Also, if you want to maximize his healing output, you should never charge his heal to the full and try to aim for 50-60 heal range, because this way you can be sure that you never overcharge your heal, because every single millisecond of your overcharge heal is a heal per second loss on every flower. His tree is still magnificent and heals everyone to the full HP, as well as provides overhealth, and the fact that Bastion got directly and indirectly nerfed means that there is nobody who can cut the tree fast and reliable as it would be before, and if they would try to do that as a team, you will cut them before they cut the tree, because when they are shooting an ultimate, you are shooting them. The problem is that you don't possess a threat, and if your team consists of a bunch of idiots, you will never be able to carry them. This is why Lifeweaver is still strong, but not quite the A tier, top of the B. Brig is gonna return to the meta, especially because the Bastion nerfs. You have to understand that Winston has never seen the light of the day because the turret form had so little downtime and so much value that you jump on Winston, your bubble gets completely shattered in a second, and then you get completely shattered the next second. But now the downtime is so big that Bastion has to use his form to the full potential, which he never will be able to, because in higher ranks people play Sigma, in higher ranks people play Sojourn, they are playing Hanzo, they are playing against, or not against, behind the natural cover, and you just wait for the form to go out, and then you jump the very big model character, which has nothing to do with dive. He is terrible versus Tracer, he's terrible versus Sombra, he's terrible versus Winston, and the combination of these three characters will make him a lot worse. But enough of the Bastion, let's talk about Brig. As you can see, Winston, Wrecking Balls and Doomfists are gonna go back in meta, and I'm actually very curious to see how that will turn out to be. Brig is incredibly powerful if the enemy has at least two dive characters, whether it's a combination between Monkey Tracer or Genji Doomfist, or they are playing Ball Sombra. Doesn't matter, because you can protect your flex support, you can press W and destroy the enemy tank, you can boop them away, there is so many things you can do. Unfortunately, there is a catch. If you are playing against Rush or Poke composition, you are absolutely screwed. There is nothing you can do versus Reinhardt, Mei, Lucio, Bap, Sojourn composition, because they're just gonna press W onto you, destroy your shield, and you don't have any offensive options in that regard. It's just too dangerous to brawl the tank. And there is nothing you can do against the Poke composition. You're just gonna whip shot the shield of Sigma, and then there is Sojourn, perhaps Widowmaker, and Illari and Baptiste. There's just nothing you can do. If you're gonna get close, your shield is gonna get shattered and you're gonna die anyways. So I'm gonna place Brigitte at the top of the A tier against Dive, which can work with Ana Brig composition or Baptiste Brig composition, but C tier against everything else because of her low versatility, and she's really bad against everything else. So let's place her at the B tier. Lucio is so back in the mid-season 7 of Overwatch 2 because of rush compositions with Reinhardt, Mei, or if you are playing Junker Queen, Kiriko. It's also incredibly nice. You have to understand that when you are playing Junker Queen without Lucio, you are just a fraction of the power you can have. When you are playing Reinhardt without Lucio, you will have a hard time closing the distance on your enemies, and Lucio makes this character so much better. This is one of the rare examples where 1 + 1 = 3 when it comes to your meta composition synergy. You can play with dive tanks and synchronize your assassinations. You can help your dive DPS and play 3+2. For example, you can play Sigma, Sojourn, Tracer, Lucio, and Baptiste in a combination, and Sigma, Sojourn, and Baptiste are gonna stay main and poke enemies from far, while you and Tracer are hitting the flank together. So Lucio is going to be top of the B tier, although he is a very high skill ceiling character that requires experience, mechanical skill, and coordination and communication between you and your teammates. Ana is still incredibly powerful despite the additional 2 seconds on her nade. Honestly, she's a little bit weaker against the threats that can jump on her, but if you have Brig, there is nothing you need to worry about. You are great with dive because you can support your Doomfist, Wrecking Ball, and Winston from a very far distance. You are great with rush compositions. If you don't know how to play Baptiste, your character is pretty reliable and relatively easy when you get the hang of her abilities and understand the overall flow of Ana. If you throw your nade as your tank goes in, you just keep everyone alive and safe, and this is exactly how you play Ana in a TLDR situation. Your sleep is still incredibly powerful, and Nano can turn fights around, make your tanks going from 0 HP to hero, and then make useless ultimates such as like Genji Blade into a deadly weapon, because Nano Blade is infinitely more dangerous than just raw Genji Blade. If you're struggling against dive again, you can just swap Brig and she can bodyguard you and keep you alive while you are making sure nobody is dying. top of the A tier, but a little bit below Illari. Feels like Mercy is very strange in the current state of the game, because every time I play in Grandmaster lobbies, the team that has Mercy usually wins. But if you wanna climb ranked ladder with this character, Mercy is not for you, especially in a solo queue environment where nobody gives a damn about you. People would not play a hit scan, people would not pick a healer, so instead of enabling your DPS, you'd have to micromanage and heal bot like an idiot, and you know that there are better characters for that. Your teammates know that you know that there are better characters for that, but they never swap because they simply don't care. Mercy still does not apply any offensive. Like, she doesn't pressure the enemy team, and if you have a godlike hit scan in a party, you will win more than you lose. But if you don't, what are you gonna do? B tier maximum. Last character for today is going to be Moira, but I feel like she is terrible, but not as terrible as Zenyatta. If you are playing against dive, Moira can work as an alternative to Brig, although you can't reliably save your Ana and she's gonna get jumped on quite frequently. You can distract the backline, you can destroy the backline, and your orb can deal so much damage. You have enough healing to keep teammates alive, and your ultimate is great. You can avoid so many things with your fade. But in reality, you are not as good as Kiriko, Lifeweaver or Baptiste. When it comes to saving people, you are not as good as Ana or Illari when it comes to applying pressure and making plays. Your character is just not good enough and not providing enough utility and value, and the higher you climb with Moira, the better you understand what I'm talking about here. Anyways, so this is going to be the tier list for today's mid-season 7 of Overwatch 2. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this one. See you in the next one. Take care.